I'm DJ Self, the Prince of New York, one of the prominent DJs in New York City. Right now, currently, I'm on a radio station called Power 105. That's iHeartMedia. I currently hold the #1 slot in the nighttime. And in New York City, our city is 24 hours. So normally in certain markets, after 9 is like the cutoff hour. But in New York City, that's like when the stuff is, to me, is like really getting started. Make sure you download that My Mixtape app. You know what it is, all right? 800-585-1051 is DJ Self, the Prince of New York, bringing you that boom bap, huh? Get tipsy, huh? Nas, DJ Self, Brooklyn was popping. Saturday, the 17th, Mike Neezy birthday bash. Crazy. Power 105.1 is DJ Self, the Prince of New York. You know how I play. Right now, currently, I hold the #1 slot in my time slot, which is 10 to 2. Also, I'm on Love and Hip Hop New York. That's on VH1. Currently, I'm in the starting phase of opening up a record label, which is called Gwinin Ent. In New York City, I was like very prominent in the streets, and a lot of times the older people that were DJing and stuff wouldn't really let me in. And there were 2 guys from Boston that came to New York, and they became the PD, which is like kind of like the boss of a radio station. They came to New York, and they were looking for new talent. And then they wound up saying, hey, you know, DJ Self, we're going to give you that shot. So they put me on Power 105, the station. A lot of people see what Power 105.1 is today. But when I first got on the station, it was like 5-6 years ago. No one really wanted to be on the station. This was like the station that you came to for your exit. After I came, then the DJ Envies came, then the Charlemagnes, and you know, they came like following after Pro Style. They followed after me. So to me, I feel like that was like the turning point where it was like, oh, you know, he's leading something new. You understand what I'm saying? So I think like this was like the turning point in my career as DJ Self. A while ago, I used to hang out with a guy named DJ Goldfinger. Goldfinger he used to call himself the king of clubs, and I was like his apprentice. So I can't remember what DJ was. It was like a big award show, and he was just, I think I won an award or something like that. And it was the mixtape awards. And he was like, yo, this guy's the next guy up. He's the Prince of New York. So that name just stuck with me, the Prince of New York. I mean, a lot of people always say, oh, you're not the Prince, you're the king, and so, you know, I might just stick with Gwinin Ent instead of the Prince of New York, you know, but they still have that name. I'd rather keep the name. I don't want to be king because I don't feel like no one want to kill the prince. Everybody aims for the king. You understand? I don't feel like being in confrontation with nobody. I'm here just trying to make some money. Unofficially, I would say I feel like I'm the creator of the street or the album mixtape. And when I say that, meaning, like you said, I made a mixtape called LOX Family. At the time, before I made that mixtape, they were making mixtapes with just one artist, but they was calling it the best of somebody. It was like the best of. And I came up with an idea. I was like, Dak, everybody wants to hear these guys, the LOX, but they don't have no album. So I said, why don't I create a street album with the LOX and the people that was surrounded by the LOX. One day, a guy named Brian is the creator of Pay-Per-View. He was a good friend of mine, and he bought the contract of a guy named Richie Thumbs, Genovese, and Mo Money, and they all was down with the LOX. So then I had a whole bunch of songs from the LOX that were unreleased. I had a whole bunch of songs from the people that were down with the LOX. So I said, let me make a mixtape called LOX Family. I didn't know the impact that mixtape would make at the time. People thought it was an album. It was so much big that the LOX was looking for me to beat me up. You understand? Like, they wanted to beat me up because it's like, oh, you bootlegging our album, which now somebody can make a mixtape with somebody and they praise them for it. At the time, they wanted to kick my brains in, so I dodged the LOX for like at least 5-6 years. Like, they ain't see me, knew who I was or nothing for a long time until after the Rough Rider thing was over, everything. Then that's when I was like, hey, it's me, like that. And they, it was just like, oh, they appreciated what I did now. DJ Goldfinger. Goldfinger was the biggest club DJ in New York City. It was like him, then Flex, him, then Flex, him, then Flex. But Goldfinger was doing the great social party. So when I say that, meaning his parties, it would be the athletes, the top whores, and the top rappers in there. Whereas Flex was doing like the street hood parties and stuff like that. Like, so to put it in perspective, like Goldfinger was DJing when Diddy and Jennifer Lopez had the shooting and stuff like that. So, people like Jennifer Lopez, Oprah would be in his parties like that. So I was always behind him, so I learned what he did, and then I took the formula from what he did and then created it for myself to become that person DJing in the clubs in New York. Satellite radio, I've been on satellite radio for almost 10 years. I was on satellite radio. I started on a spot called Hip Hop Nation, and then they merged with XM because it was Sirius, and then at the time it was two different satellite radios. It was XM, then there was Sirius, and it was like a big, some people had XM, some people had, then they just merged together. So now it's Sirius XM, they merged together, and when they did the merge, I moved to Shade 45. I've always been a person to reach out and help DJs because I felt like when I was trying to get on, no one helped me, and I knew how I felt. I always said I would never be that DJ to try to push DJs away. So when I first got on Power 105, I brought in 3 other DJs. I brought in DJ Will, DJ Top Boogie, and DJ Nori. Those were the 3 DJs that I brought in. Maybe like the first 3 months, I went to my boss, yo, you need to bring these 3 guys in also. Where some people be like, yo, I got a job, forget about everybody else, whatever. But my mind, I was like, nah, I want to bring in 3 other DJs that I feel deserve so. When I got on Shade 45, I used that same knowledge and did the same thing, and I brought in Superstar J. He did his thing, and when I say did his thing, he took it seriously where I could just put my feet up. And then after, I put my feet up so long, I was like, I just retired from satellite radio. And this satellite radio wasn't paying me. So that was another big thing. It was like, okay, I've been doing, the free work for almost 10 years. Can you give me, I worked for free for 10 years at satellite radio.
You should have told me it would be like this.
Tonight, Nasir Jones, Nas, DJ Self, Lust Nightclub, baby. Download that DJ Self app. You know what it is. Someone was like, yo, how do you feel about the state of hip-hop today? To me, I really like it. And why I say I like it, because now a lot of people are rapping, but I feel like rap is like the new hustle, the new popular hustle. When I was coming up, the popular hustle was selling drugs. So now, rapping is legal hustle. And, now those persons who used to be the drug sellers or the drug users, but, it still keep people out of trouble and keep their mind creative. So a lot of times, older people, they may say, I don't like how hip-hop is now, blah, blah, blah. But, music always evolves. That's how I feel. So it doesn't really make a difference, if the music is changed now, it's still good because the culture is moving forward. That's how I feel. It's always like that, because my brother was into hip hop and the first couple hip hops, they were like, we are gonna rock you and then it really time. And then it came to the people like, Biz Markies and the Big Daddy Kanes that came with lyrics. And you understand, then to the Maces, to the Jay-Z's, now to the to the Uzis and Migos. I mean, the music just evolved. Even me, I don't know the very old school hip hops, the De La Souls, the early tribes. So I didn't grow up on that. So I don't want to tell somebody, yo, you got to learn even the Grandmaster Casses. So just try to learn whoever is your idol. Learn who their influences are. To me, this new generation, I've always said that their influences is Gucci and Soulja Boy. So try to learn Gucci Mane's first album, Soulja Boy's first album. Some people don't really even know Soulja Boy's music or whatever. And Soulja Boy's not super duper old, but I feel he influenced a lot of this new wave. This is my opinion. I do feel like Soulja Boy was that new young stallion that just bursted in, and I feel like he birthed a lot of minds. That's just my opinion. Even with using the internet, now everybody, the first thing they do is go to the internet with their music. Everyone wants to be a DJ, but in the same sentence, I can't complain about the easy accessibility about being a DJ, because everything evolves. And a lot of times people complain about it, but you can't complain about one thing and then don't complain about the other. So it's easier for us to find out what's going on about something because we could just type in Google, whereas before you had to go to a library and search through books. So now I'd rather Google than go into the library. Yes, so I can't complain that a DJ could just download, a whole bunch of songs, or download my mixtapes and they could become a DJ. You understand what I'm saying? So, it's like 50-50 with me, but at sometimes, if you don't have love for the music or knowledge of the music, then that's when I probably would get upset about like the newer DJs. Maybe more of the knowledge and the love of the music. I love and respect people who know things that came before them, not while they just say, oh, I'm interested in this thing called hip hop, and they start their hip hop from whenever they felt, in love with it. Oh, there's a lot of people that came in this hip hop and they only know from Future to present point. There were people that was there before Future. You feel what I'm saying? So, try to learn those people. I'm not gonna say go all the way back to the beginning, but try to learn some people that was like a little bit before, or Future's influences like that. And I think some people don't pay attention to those things. See where Future got his style from, or you understand what I mean? I don't know if I look at Khaled as an inspiration, but I look at Khaled as a great person because he's moving the DJ culture forward. So when I say that, I would support anything that Khaled does, because I feel like him opening the doors to show somebody that the DJ can be a person that could promote this or promote that or get this type of deal or anything like that. He's opening the doors for all of us DJs. I think the mistake that a lot of DJs make is we always feel like we in competition with each other, so we don't help each other out. So it's kind of like, it kind of holds us moving forward a little bit, back, because we always type in competition. So it's like some people may not want to give it up for Khaled or do different things because they feel, oh, it should be me. But people don't think about it. It's like, well, the bigger he become, the bigger we'll become, because then they're gonna be like, all right, one man can't do everything. So now all right, well, we got one, let's get another one. And therefore. So I feel like I was the first DJ on Love and Hip Hop. They had DJs in Atlanta and things like that, but I feel like I was the first DJ on Love and Hip Hop, and now they have another DJ that came on. So it's just like now I think I've done great. So they're like, okay, let's bring someone else on, and then if that person do great, then therefore. So it's like it's opening the doors. I've said this several times. I'm going to still say it again, because a lot of times I think no message is always heard by the masses, and every platform is great. I always use a thing called 5 Ps, and I feel like it's proper preparation prevents poor performance. So young DJs, like whatever you do, if you're about to make a mixtape, practice the mixtape, prepare it first. Write a list down of the songs you're going to play, in the order and what tempo goes this way, da da da. If you're doing a club, same thing. All right, I'm gonna attack the ladies first. After the ladies, I go for the dudes. After that, I go for the hustlers. After that, I'm gonna slow it down. Just prepare prepare yourself for whatever DJ war you're going into as far as your audience. So I always just say prepare yourself. Don't come in there freestyling. I'm gonna just go in there and do whatever, blah blah blah. Write your stuff down or have a mental note of everything that you're gonna do. So that's like my advice to anybody. Don't come in anywhere blind. Come in there and know what you're gonna say and what you're gonna do, what you're gonna play. DJ Self, the Prince of New York, My Mixtape. You should download it.